Hi, guys. It's Dr. Liz Jenkins with drlizcoaching.com. And hello and welcome from my backyard. And you can see there's River, and we've got Katie, and somewhere in there we've got Pippin. Yep, there they are. Three of the four happy pups that are excited to have us back from our trip to Costa Rica. And I wanted to, well, I was planning on doing this from Costa Rica, but since I flunked surfing um, on day two, I've been doing a little rehab. So, but in that rehab, I learned still great reminders. And I wanted to share this with you that some of the things that I relearned about myself, my relationship, what I get to do with life. And I wanted to share it with you guys because I think it's a great reminder for everyone else and for my couples, especially for you guys. And right now I have happy dogs that are just wrestling and playing around here. So here's the thing that I learned, that it was so important to get out of my routine, get out of my rut. And by stepping into Costa Rica, a culture that I'd never experienced, surroundings, even the language. I'm not at all fluent in Spanish. I pantomime, smile, know a few words, and they are all so gracious and so kind. And so there's no problema, right? So getting out of my regular routine, my timing, my day-to-day stuff, seeing new the vegetation, the howler monkeys, they were absolutely darling. And well, yep, that's why they get the howler, was so critical because as for my past, 35 years as a career, and I've been chatting with some of my also clinician and therapist friends, we are really dictated by a lot of rules. And I thought about I'm going to talk about how those rules, I'm so glad I'm breaking out of those and able to bring that into my life transitions and relationship coaching, because in there I am not stuck or confined to these kind of limitations. But in my world, it's driven by the clock. And I get only so much time with my folks, and then I have to stop and really don't get to have that connection in between sessions or provide extra supports and extra resources, because that's not provided or dictated through the insurance world and through the therapy world with our rules and regulations and stuff like that. So I really started to step into and embrace, because in Costa Rica, there really weren't any rules. You could drive kind of anything you wanted to do. You could sleep as long as you wanted to sleep, get up, go out, surf, play in the water, come back. It was okay. You wanted breakfast for dinner? It's okay. You wanted lunch for dinner? It's okay. And the beauty part for me was that in between, we weren't face down in a phone. We weren't in front of a computer or dictated to pick up and answer one more thing. When people were done with work or they took a break, they were done. And they sat, like in our hotel lobby, we met, oh gosh, Helen, Mary, and Wilmer. Super, super sweet staff at the Pueblo Dorado. And they just stopped and engaged and gave us full attention and shared and learned. And that was so key and so, life-changing, memory connecting. And it also rubbed off on myself. I got out of that, got to go someplace, need to do the thing, and really started to embrace the freedom of just like, I'm just going to sit here and visit with people. Or more importantly, I'm just going to sit here and visit with Mike. We really just kind of hung out. We maybe sit by the pool or lay on the beds and really just chill. And that is so key and so critical for ourselves as individuals, to take some of this time to put ourselves in new experiences where you bump up. And I'm not saying it was easy, like, oh, wow, this is really awkward to transition. It doesn't feel comfortable. Put ourselves in new surroundings, new experiences, so that you start to bump up into your rules, your routines, the things that you do almost automatically, and yes, automatically, and be okay with stepping back from that for just a little bit and see which ones you want to keep and which ones you want to discard. I know that disconnecting and enjoying my off time is key, is huge. I do I do want to do more of these kinds of trips and play more in that respect. And it allowed for me personally, and for I think for Mike as well, time to really bring back some of those early times when we had more freedom and we traveled and did more things to just have fun as a couple. And I want you guys to have that as well. And I talked about how I see this relating back and forth to my couples. Have you ever, like, when I want to talk about ruts and routines, have you ever like been walking down a hallway and someone is coming at you and you kind of jog to the right and they end up kind of jogging that way to you, and then you kind of step back and then you kind of laugh, if you got a good sense of humor, laugh. And I was like, oh, thanks for dancing. And then we kind of go around each other. That's what an automatic rut or routine is for a couple. And I think it's so critical for us to start recognizing how we show up in our marriages and our relationships. We sort of jog one way, say by opening up a conversation or a topic, and without realizing your spouse, your partner is on autopilot as well, and they're jogging without thinking. They aren't looking at the situation. You are jogging without thinking. And so even though you're broaching this topic and in your mind you want to have a candid conversation or a fresh conversation, the routines and the automatic responses and the thoughts are just like those people jogging, walking down the hallway. We revert back without thinking. And that's where the conflicts happen. That's where all of a sudden mid-conflict or mid-walking off or conversation shutting down, you realize, how did we get here? How'd that happen? That was like really, really fast. And we didn't even get anything done, no accomplishments. And then we reconfirm incorrectly that we're not compatible, or they don't understand us, or we can't communicate, or they don't love us, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. And so when you put yourselves in new experiences, new trainings, new opportunities, you get to confront those and reshape or relearn really, really, really what is most important or what is happening. So you realize, oh, you're jogging. So you stop jogging automatically and you listen instead of opening your mouth and speaking or jumping to the wrong conclusion. You listen, you respond, etc. Okay. So maybe it's not articulate, but that's kind of the best example I can give you off the top of my head, is that that is what I see with my couples, whether that they are, many of them are in these old automatic jog patterns, and they haven't gotten out of that routine or that rut. And that's one of the things I absolutely love about my relationship coaching programs, is that I get to step into your world with the tools, with the training. I have so many awesome training modules with videos and PDFs that have you stepping into a new experience, identifying the ruts, identifying why are you both jog to the wrong thing or jump to the automatic response. And I have the steps and the tools for you to unlearn that or relearn that and show up in a way that has you really being present in your marriage or your relationship or within yourself, because that's really what it is. It starts with us. We show up differently. We can make an impact in whatever relationship, whatever situation. And so I want you to have the tools, have the insight, so that you're aware of where you're automatically going. You're aware of how you as a couple are automatically going down that path. The other thing about my coaching world, and I'm so committed to this journey and so committed to helping my couples currently and my future ones. I know there's so many out there, is that I'm not, tied to this brief moment where we get to chat, we sort of figure some things out and send you on. In my programs, I've got all sorts of ways for people to stay connected. There's my VIP programs, I've got the WhatsApp, where in between sessions, in between, questions can be texted to me, voice messages, and I can have the opportunity to coach you back and forth or give you some insight or direct you to another direction right there. Whether we met, say today is Tuesday, and Thursday something pops up, boom, do the WhatsApp. I'm there. I'll help you guys get insight and reshift and show up differently so you can move on and enjoy your weekend together, right? And feel successful as a couple. I have private Facebook groups and all sorts of bonus training and bonus things that I'm able to provide in my coaching world, in my relationship coaching world. That brings me such joy, because the gifts and the insight from my 35 years as a marriage and family therapist, and 33 plus years as married and with children and things like that, is so abundant. I want you guys to have that too. And I want you to have it now, not later, because the average couple, the average individual and couple waits 7 years, or 6.9 technically, before they go seek help. And that's 6.9/7 years of really sad moments that I would like to prevent you from going through. All right. So thank you, Costa Rica. Thank you all the folks that showed up in my world, in my life, from United Airlines that upgraded us with my boo-boo on my foot so that I could actually stretch my legs out. That was so sweet. The folks at Pueblo Dorado and Witches Surf Camp, that was fun. Most especially to my hubby, Mike, for making the trip so special and bringing that up as an idea for us, to our daughters, Courtney and Stephanie, who held down the fort and supported each other, and all of our critters that are so happy to see us here. I am so thrilled to be back. And let's get going, guys. Reach out to me. I am so rested, reinvigorated, and so focused that relationship coaching is the best avenue. Life transition coaching is the best avenue. So whether it's just you showing up and playing, how can I have a better life? How can I have a better relationship? What am I doing that keeps this happening? Great. DM me. I'm here. Let's have a chat. Whether it's the two of you that say, it's time. We want a little bit of that. We want a whole lot of that because we are tired about where we are going right now. DM me. Let's chat. All right. Maybe you just want a little bit of that, Liz, or that we can take with us. That's fine. I've got a wonderful weekend reconnect, and you can disappear for the weekend, sort of like I did, and use all these modules and work through the training, the videos, and have a great time away. Or you can carve them all out and have a whole series, 3 months worth of date nights, weekly date nights at the very least, where you guys can slip out of that rut and reconnect in a better, more rewarding, revitalizing way. So anyway, I've got to go. Got fun things to do, like unpack suitcases and catch up on fun stuff. And most importantly, just connect with people. Mm-hmm. Take care. I'm Dr. Liz Jenkins with Dr. Liz Coaching. DM me. I'm here. I want to chat. Let's see what we can do to get you guys reignited in your life and your relationship.